The following program is intended for a mature audience. Viewer discretion is advised.
This I've got to see.
It's worth watching, so stay tuned.
Welcome in. Good to see you, buddy. JT's here. Roger. Patrick's here. Kent. Love you guys. Look at Roger. Roger, yeah, buddy. Welcome to the show, big man. He looks frozen. Are you passing gas right now, Roger? It's all right. Let that out, man. Let that out. Oh, yeah. Welcome. We start on the platform of some comedy, and then we dive into the shit. We dive into the shit of vulnerability and learning the skills, the tools, the strategies to be on fucking fire inside your own chest for your life, for your career, for your purpose, for your passion, for hitting the gym, hitting I like how CrossFit calls it flow that I was doing this morning. We're going to kick your ass cardio. That's high intensity cardio until you're laying in the ground. That's flow in CrossFit. I did that this morning. That's kicking ass. Roger, I'm going to call you Roger from now on. Yeah, be on fire for yourself and be on fire in relationship. We want her loins to be on fire for us forever. Cynthia and I are going to talk about that today, talk about the lover archetype. This is week 2 that we're attacking the lover archetype out of King, Warrior, Magician, Lover. We're working our way backwards over the next, it's going to be 8 weeks, 2 weeks per. Lover, Magician, Warrior, King. I think I did that right backwards. I can't say the alphabet backwards either, but... Yeah, welcome to the show. We're going to get into Cynthia's Sexcapade spot here in a moment. We're talking about tips and strategies, how to up-level your lover archetype. Let's check out the Sexcapade spot for today. Cynthia's Sexcapade spot is going to be, start from the bottom up. Are those panties, or she seems to be wearing an eye patch?
Those are summertime panties. They allow for good airflow.
Oh, my God. All right, let's go and jump into the Staircase of Courage question, gentlemen. You're here because you want to know the 3 forms of confidence, the behavioral skills, the emotional regulation, and the spiritual why of doing this work. You want to cut the umbilicus of the thermometer here, the thermometer of if the woman in your life is having a rough day or a bad day or is in a bad mood, that does not mean that you have to be having a bad day. That does not mean that dictates your life, dictates the energy in your life. One form of the lover energy is the addicted lover. That's one of the shadow poles. There's the addicted lover and the impotent lover. And certainly we can feel impotent in our life if we still have this connection, this umbilicus, this thermometer attached to her moods. And that's not what she wants. She wants us to have our own boundaries, our own banks of the river in our life so that she can splash her femininity against them. She doesn't want you to be blown over by her. She wants you to be able to handle her storms. And we have a what would you do? So let's go ahead and start with a what would you do. And then we're going to jump into King, Warrior, Magician, Lover. So this man posts... I'm still a member of several of other groups, of different groups. So he's basically in free Facebook groups. He's also paying for particular groups that he's within, this gentleman says. And so he's trying to collect as much information as we can. It seems like he's in that information collecting phase, which all of us are in. You know, maybe you're reading multiple books at the same time, or you're wanting connection and you're wanting support from other guys. I'm still a member of several of these groups and will often reply to men who are seeking to find clarity and strength. So he's supporting other men. The conversations seem to go well until I explain that my clarity and peace, and I'm working on that, aren't we all? My clarity and peace came when I really let go of my wife and allowed myself to move on with my life, realizing that I was going to be okay without her. What I find is that this is often the end of the conversation with these other men. Once they realize that I'm moving on with my life without expectations of reconciliation, my wife filed for divorce a few weeks ago and is adamant in proceeding, and I feel empowered to no longer be in limbo land. I feel free. And when I say the end of the conversation with this man, I mean no more replies from them happen. almost like talking to me is poison for their reconciliation hopes. I probably know the answer, but is this cutting off of contact at this point their fear that they can't accept the end of their marriage as a happy outcome? Just curious on the thoughts from the men here on this. Do I just quit trying to help these men understand? I feel like I'm offering them the solution, but I also know that I can't make them understand. I don't feel angry when the conversation ends, just sort of sad that they can't realize what they need to be happy is to be happy within themselves. Thank you in advance for your thoughts and opinions. So I'm curious, what would you do, gentlemen? So if you're this man and you're saying, I try to converse, and when I do, it seems to end the conversation. When I tell them, this man is saying, when he tells them that he's happy with the end of his divorce, he's settled with the end of his divorce, he knows that he can be happy without her. He's obviously, that's not what he wanted. He didn't want a divorce, but now his wife is stalwart in her decision, adamant in her decision. And so he's happy finding peace within himself. And he says when he posts that it ends the conversation with other men. So I'm curious, what are your thoughts on this? What would you do here? I love when you guys keep your video on. Matt, it's good to see you, buddy. Patrick said it's a little blurry. I don't know if it was blurry for anybody else. I'm not sure if it's your connection or my connection. I did my best there. Jordan's on here. Good to see you. Walter this year. Richard, Kyle, Kent. Good to see you guys. So yeah, Ian, JT, Roger, Matt, what do you think about this man who's posted and says, kind of ends the conversation when he says he finds happiness within himself and he feels okay that his wife isn't wanting to reconcile right now?
That's very true. You can't look for anyone to make you happy. For the longest time, I did that. I always got my sense of happiness and validation from being in a relationship. And, that led me to make some pretty bad mistakes. Not in the end analysis because I got kids out of it, but, it's a dangerous place to be when you depend on somebody else, because then you're not looking for them for the right reasons. And the other thing is that the only way to get what you want is paradoxically not to want it so much. You know what I mean? And nobody is very attractive when they're needy or looking for someone to fill a gap in their life.
Yeah, very well said, Roger. I appreciate it. Yeah, we can hear you just fine, man. Yeah, nice. Awesome. Yeah, Matt, please come on in.
Yeah, that statement makes a lot of sense to me in what I've been through in the last few years. Try to be brief. Going back as far as 3 years ago, my wife was basically a runaway wife, and was, after 32 years of marriage at that point, was just wanting to explore the world and see what else was out there, in which, really came as a blindsided me. And, I did the typical nice guy reaction of, what can I do to make it better? How can I fix it? How can, what are you unhappy with in your life that I can make better? But the only time that she actually responded to me over a 2-year period, in that she, repeatedly had brought up, this is over, I need to move on. She had an affair and that whole business. The only time she positively responded to me was when I said, I think you're right. I think it's over. And then within 20 minutes, she was like, no, I don't really want it to be over. So, that in that I hadn't shown a backbone in thinking that I'm okay by myself, was a side of me that she hadn't seen since we probably dated in 1985.
To watch the rest of this episode for free and other episodes, go to greatmenmovemountains.com/VIP. Punch in your info and watch the rest for free.
Get more affection, love, and sex in your marriage. Get less paralyzing fear and rejection. Never miss an episode. Watch anytime, anywhere. 3 a.m. on the toilet. Get full episodes. GreatMenMoveMountains.com/VIP. The C-Note Show.